You hear your name whispered across a room, and your entire body locks onto that sound like a heat-seeking missile. Welcome to Logic Schema. You can't unhear it, you can't unfocus from it. And the itch to know what was said becomes so physically overwhelming, it feels like a hand grabbing the back of your neck. Logically, you should be able to just go back to your work. You know that people talk, and you know that most of it doesn't matter. But your heart rate is climbing, your skin feels too tight, and your brain has completely hijacked your attention. Why does a string of words you didn't even fully catch feel like a physical assault? Even when you try to play it cool, the sensation doesn't fade. You walk away. You tell yourself it was probably nothing, or maybe they were saying something nice. But you can feel the eyes on your back. You catch a second of silence when you re-enter the room, and your brain immediately performs a code-red audit of every facial expression in your vicinity. Even if someone tells you to your face that it was nothing, even if you see proof that they were talking about a different person with the same name, your body doesn't believe it. The itch remains. You are in a state of high alert, a buzzing vibration under your skin that won't shut off until you have confirmed the exact nature of that social information. This is the Exile Schema in action. It is a biological alarm system that treats being out of the loop as a survival emergency more dangerous than physical hunger. To understand why gossip is so addictive, we have to look at the biological blueprint of our history. For nearly the entire existence of our species, humans had no private life. You didn't just live with your tribe. You were biologically and physically inseparable from them. Every second of your day was spent in the presence of others. You slept in a communal huddle to stay warm during brutal winters. You hunted in a collective brain where a single moment of miscommunication meant you wouldn't survive. In this environment, social information wasn't just talk. It was a literal survival resource, as vital as water or high-calorie meat. In a world with no private life, your reputation was your only shield. If the tribe started to view you as a liability, as someone who was lazy, or someone who couldn't be trusted during a hunt, you were standing on the edge of the ultimate system failure: exile. For an ancient human, being cast out of the group wasn't a fresh start in a new city. It was a death sentence. Without the logic of protection provided by the group, you could not survive disease or fight off predators. You were a walking target for the things that hunt in the night. This is why your brain treats a rumor like a physical hand on your neck. It isn't worried about your feelings. It's worried about your heartbeat. It knows that if the group decides you don't belong, you are going to vanish from the gene pool. This brings us to the first dimension of the schema, the hierarchy audit. In a prehistoric tribe, your rank determined your access to life-saving resources. The person at the top of the social ladder got the best cuts of meat and the safest, warmest spot near the fire during brutal winters. If a rumor starts that you are hoarding resources or that you froze in fear during a hunt, your social standing begins to plummet. This information travels faster than any predator because everyone else's survival depends on knowing who the weak links are. Your brain evolved to be hypersensitive to this because the moment you stop being in the loop, you lose the ability to defend your rank. If you don't know what is being said, you can't counter the narrative. In the ancient world, the person who wasn't paying attention to their social status was the first one to be passed over when food was scarce. Your brain treats the whisper as a code red because your position in the hierarchy isn't just about ego. It's about your literal logic of protection. The itch to know what was said is your brain forcing you to perform an immediate status audit to ensure you haven't been downgraded to a low-priority survival asset. The second dimension is the information currency. In a tribal network, knowing a secret about someone else is the prehistoric equivalent of having a weapon. If you know that a high-ranking member of the tribe is actually a coward, or that they stole from the group, you have leverage. You have social power that you can spend to protect yourself. This is why gossip is more addictive than almost any drug. Your brain views knowing the truth as a massive survival win. When you finally uncover a piece of gossip, your brain releases a hit of dopamine. It's rewarding you for securing a vital resource that could save your life if the tribe's resources ever run low. This creates a high-stakes social game where we are hard-coded to monitor every social signal. This is why we have such a massive recognition engine for our own names. Your name is the hardware key to your survival. When you hear it, your brain assumes a status audit is happening. It immediately diverts all energy away from other tasks and dumps it into your survival network. Your heart rate spikes to prepare you for a confrontation. Your brain is preparing for an emergency because it believes your membership in the tribe is being questioned. To your ancient hardware, there is no such thing as harmless gossip. Every rumor is a potential system failure. The third dimension is the deception engine. Our ancestors survived by being masters of microsignals. You had to be able to identify allies and enemies through tiny shifts in facial expression or vocal tone. Gossip is the tool we use to verify the behavior of the people around us. If someone's public face doesn't match the rumors you hear about them in private, your brain flags it as a security mismatch. If you catch a group of people laughing and they stop the moment you walk in, your brain doesn't see a coincidence. It sees a conflict in the social data. It assumes that the atmosphere of the room has shifted and you are now a target of interest. The physical discomfort you feel in that silence is your brain trying to force you to find out why. It is performing a status audit and finding a massive hole in the data. This is why you can't just let it go. Your brain views a lack of social information as a biological bankruptcy. It would rather you be terrified and wrong than calm and excluded. The sentinel inside your head understands that in a world where we developed complex language to navigate the group, being the last to know the truth is the most dangerous position you can be in. This is where we find the most dangerous glitch of the modern world: social media. We have taken an ancient survival system designed for a small group and plugged it into a global network of billions. In the ancient world, you only had to worry about the rumors within your physical reach. You were surrounded by people who provided a logic of protection, and your reputation was managed in real time through physical presence. Today, we are exposed to social feedback from people we have never met. Your brain doesn't understand the difference between a whisper in a camp and a comment on a screen. When you see a digital snub, a post you weren't tagged in, or a rumor about you spreading online, your brain triggers the exact same code-red response it used for prehistoric exile. But unlike the ancient world, there is no physical campfire to return to. We are addicted to the gossip because our brain is desperately trying to audit a tribe that is now too big to manage. We are trying to win a survival game that has no end, using hardware that was built for a world that no longer exists. This constant state of social monitoring is exhausting our nervous systems and leaving us in a state of chronic, low-level panic. We are getting the dopamine hit of information, without the actual safety of being part of a physical group. The Exile Schema is the reason you can't ignore a rumor. It is the reason your name whispered across a room is the loudest sound in the world. Your obsession with what others think of you isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that your hardware is working perfectly. It is a survival system designed to keep you tethered to the group. You are a biological success because your ancestors were attentive to social cues. They were the ones who listened to the whispers, who managed their reputations, and who ensured they were never the ones left behind. Your brain doesn't want you to be happy or calm. It wants you to be in. It wants to ensure that you are never the one who has to face the night alone. The itch in your neck is a legacy from the billions of individuals who understood that in the world of our ancestors, being alone wasn't a choice. It was a death sentence. Subscribe to Logic Schema as we decode the human blueprint, one glitch at a time. Your brain isn't afraid of what they said about you. It's afraid that the moment you are truly out, the predators of the night finally stop waiting and start moving.